Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Happy Canada Day to everybody who is Canadian. And happy 4th of July on Monday to all the Americans out there. And Americans who are in Canada and Canadians who are in America. So it's our, basically, the birthday of our country. Canada was created in 1867. And just wanted to say hi on Canada Day. Thankfully, I have the entire weekend off to enjoy beautiful Niagara region. In case those of you who are watching don't know who I am, my name is Derek Mitchell, and I talk about low carbohydrate ketogenic eating, a little bit about money, a little bit about life, and anything else you want to talk about. I'm here to have that conversation. And I'm pretty good about technology too. Know a little bit about computers, iPads, iPhones, Macs. A lot of that is my wheelhouse. So, believe in technology improves our lives. It doesn't have to be an impediment. So, since I'm talking about technology right now, let's have a little chat about that before we discuss anything else. So, I was talking to somebody the other day who said their hard drive crashed on them on their computer and complained that they lost all their information, the pictures, and I felt bad for them. Obviously, those type of things are important to us. We want to make sure that we want to have access to those important photos, contacts, previous emails, or whatever it is that's important to you. Music. I have a pretty good catalog of music that I keep on my machine, as well as I have a lot of movies that I've downloaded and purchased over the years, and I like to keep those so that if I want to go back and watch a movie without having to stream it, I can do that too. So what was their issue? A lot of people have a computer and they use it every day and they keep a lot of information on it, in addition to making sure that the computer is safe for people trying to hack into them. The one thing you want to do is have a backup of your information, the things that are important. You don't have to back up everything, but my suggestion is for anybody who's got a computer, a PC or a Mac, that you have a backup so that you can protect those things that are important to you. There's another option too. You can use a cloud service, something like Dropbox or iCloud, to be able to back up or keep a copy of items that are important to you on those cloud services. So you can have a physical hard drive, you can have a cloud service, you can have both. I forget the pricing for Dropbox. It's pretty reasonable for a good size storage amount. And iCloud, if I remember right, I think it's $1. I'd have to go look at the site, but I think it's in Canada it's about $1.29 a month for 50 gigabytes of storage. In the US it's 99 cents a month, I believe. I have to go look. And then I think 200 gigabytes in the States is $2.99 a month. So $3 a month for 200 gigabytes of offline storage, like on the cloud, for Macs, and Dropbox is probably pretty close to that. I have to go again look at the pricing. So you have the ability to store things that are important to you on a cloud site. You also can get an external hard drive. You can get a 1 gigabyte external hard drive for $70, Canada or the US. So my suggestion is if you have things that are important to you, you get that external hard drive, maybe consider purchasing some cloud storage if that works for you, and get it done. Don't leave it, because once it's gone, it's gone. Okay? If it's not important, if you have no data on the machine that really matters to you, then I think you don't have to worry about backing up. If your computer has a technological issue, it crashes or whatever, this, that, or the other, and you can live with that, then more power to you. Personally, I have backup on an external hard drive. I don't use cloud services at the moment. I use it sometimes for Dropbox, for just keeping a duplicate, but it's really not necessary. I don't pay very much for it. So make sure you back up what's important to you. The other thing is, If you only have one computer and you're using it regularly, every now and then clean it up. There's different ways to do it. You can go into websites where you can clean up. Just be careful about going to websites that want your money for cleanups. There's free cleanups on sites, registry cleaners, that kind of thing. Talk to people who are knowledgeable about computers and do a cleanup at least every year, if not every 6 months. And just try to get your files cleaned up. Make sure you have enough space on your computer too. You should have at least, suggestion is 20% of your hard drive should be free, at least, in order for the computer to be working properly. So if you have a 100 gigabyte hard drive, then you want at least 20 gigs free. If you have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, you want 100 gigabytes free. That's the concept. So that free space is used to use in the computer when they need to do whatever operations it needs to do. It uses the memory, the RAM in the computer, but it also uses the hard drive to swap files back and forth when it needs to allocate resources to whatever function you're doing, whether it's word processing, videos, that kind of thing. So keep at least 20% if you can. The less hard drive space you have available, your computer could be running slowly because of that. So a little bit of tech speak up front. Making sure you back up, making sure you keep passwords written down somewhere safe or in an encrypted file folder. There's apps that you can download. But again, if your computer crashes and you don't have a backup, that's not going to help when you need those passwords. So keep your passwords safe somewhere so you don't lose them. Because if your computer does crash, you're going to need to access them somewhere. So either write it down, put it on your phone, put it somewhere else in an encrypted file. I think I use Droid Keeper as my password protector. Thankfully, I can remember a lot of my passwords without having to look them up, but even if I can't, I have that on my phone so that if I need to, I can go look it up there. Plus, I have my phone backed up to my computers as well. So a little bit of tech speak this morning. So let's talk about health and diet and exercise. Health, I'm always promoting the low carbohydrate way of eating. Even if you don't subscribe to eating that way all the time, which a lot of people don't, I think you can be a lot healthier if you... I'll just put it to you this way. I believe in eating low carbohydrates as much as possible. But if you do crave some of these things, limit those starchy carbohydrates, those processed carbohydrates, as much as you can. So breads, pastas, and fast food, and anything in a box from a grocery store, try to avoid if you can. Whole, healthy, real food would be suggested. There's low-carb alternatives to things like pizza crusts and that, so that you can make healthier meals than using whole wheat or bread or pizza crust or whatever it is that you're using, because a lot of those things that use flour and that, it just basically breaks down in your body just the same as sugar does. So essentially, when you have too much sugar or any of those foods that break down as sugar, it's going to promote insulin to be produced in your body, and insulin promotes fat storage when you have too much of it. So if you can limit the amount of insulin-producing foods that you consume, the healthier you're going to be. Your pancreas has to work harder to produce that insulin, and essentially you're going to be, I'm just generalizing obviously, it's different for each person, and I always suggest each person test themselves and evaluate what works for them as far as food intake. If you like, I mean, a lot of people still will eat carbs regardless of what a lot of us on the web say or the health experts out there. The thing is that there's been many randomly controlled studies that indicate the lower your carbohydrates, the healthier you'll be on the whole. Always check with your healthcare professional, of course, to determine what's best for you. But if you're not sure, just try eating or try not eating carbs and change up your diet a little bit and see how that affects your body, how you feel. I find that when you're eating a lot of non-carbohydrate foods, there's a lot of health benefits for it. So it also increases your metabolism, allows your body to burn fat more effectively. Your skin color is better. For a lot of older people, if you're eating healthy fats and eating fats from meats, from things like coconut oil and some olive oil, but not the processed vegetable oils. Stay away from those. But if you're eating the healthy fats, your face won't seem sunken. You're going to have some, although I'm a little pudgy right now, but basically you won't have the sunken eyes when you're getting older. You're going to have good fat stores so that your body won't feel like it's drawn in, and you don't want that if you can avoid it. In my opinion. So, what else? So diet. What about exercise? So exercise, and I posted something to Facebook today just indicating that, you know what, exercise is very important for our overall health. I do not believe it contributes significantly towards weight loss. I think it can have a minimal impact, but I think that exercise is really important, that we're active, and we get out there and walk around. We do things that we enjoy, whether it be sporting activities, taking walks down the road. The thing we want to watch for is not to stress our adrenals and stress our body too much to produce cortisol. Cortisol is a negative thing in the sense of it causes your body to be stressed and not work properly to be healthy. Cortisol is not a good thing to have an excess of. So if you're going to exercise, do it the things you enjoy. Don't stress yourself too much, but get out there and be active. Everybody needs to. Don't sit in the chair like I'm doing right now too much. Get out there and make a point of being a part of the world. It helps depression too if you exercise. So, and exercise means any kind of activity. It doesn't mean just getting on the treadmill. It doesn't mean whatever you consider to be exercise, elliptical or whatever else it is. It just means being active, getting your cardiovascular system working based on the movement that your body entails. It helps your body be a lot more effective and efficient. So you have that. It also helps your emotional health, and it makes you feel better about whatever life is throwing at you when you exercise. Fitness is individual for each person. Some people like to exercise. So if you're somebody who likes to work out and you like to lift weights, and I do believe in doing some of that. I think though that if you do too much of it, you're going to push your body too hard, and that can cause counterproductive effects on your body, on your metabolism, on the way your body reacts. Hormones are such a huge part of how your body burns the fuel that you put in it. So always try to balance everything out. So have a good emotional life, get out and do things, be interactive with people if you can, eat properly, and exercise appropriately, and I think you're going to be a lot better. One thing is, when I have my time off, I try to be relaxed, try not to do anything too much that causes stressful kind of situations, and that way it makes life a lot easier, and you can do that. But get the things done that you feel is important, and go ahead and do that. So for those of you who don't know, I am actually a reality TV show kind of fan. I really like Big Brother. That's my most favorite, and I'm a Survivor fan. And not all reality TV, but Big Brother and Survivor are my big two. I have watched Amazing Race Canada. Big Brother Canada is huge for me. I watch it every year. Tried to get on it a couple times, but I'm an older guy, so they like the younger crew. But that's cool. But it's fun to watch the interaction between people. You know what? I don't know if I could. I always wondered, sort of like the loud truck those days. I always wondered if I got into that house where there was no TV, no radio, no books, no ability to write down your thoughts in a journal. All you could do is interact with the people around you. I just wondered how that would work for me. I'm sort of borderline introvert, extrovert. I'm not extroverted, and I'm a little bit introverted. So for me, I have to make an effort to be able to interact with people. I like people, but I don't have an inherent desire to have to always be around people. So to be in a group of, say, 16 people, which is approximately what the amount of people are in the Big Brother house, how would I do when I didn't have any distractions such as internet, TV, whatever? I don't know. I think it would be interesting to find out. So that's why I applied. But I'm watching the Big Brother US version right now. Big Brother Canada ended about 2 months ago. It was pretty good. I I just really like seeing how people change their approach to living when they're threatened by getting kicked out of the house and the pressures that are around when you have to constantly be interacting with other people. And finally, money. So I've over the last year or two, I've learned a big lesson about being more financially prudent, to be watching my money, make sure I don't spend on the wrong things, and I've got a lot better at it. I think it's not like I didn't know what to do. I just think I like to spend money, and when I like to spend money, it got me into trouble. So now that I realize I have a limited source of income, and I got to make sure that I use that money appropriately, I think I've gotten a lot more efficient about how I spend my money and what the things are that to me that are important. I can still have fun without spending a lot of money, but the priorities in life need to get taken care of. You need to take care of your rent or mortgage. You need to get you have appropriate food to eat. You got to pay your utilities, and then you have to have somebody left over to enjoy your life a little bit. So, but it doesn't have to be. You can earn a modest salary and still have a decent life. So I would suggest if you're finding yourself stressed about money, that you look at what you're spending your money on, keep a journal, and for a month, and see and be honest with yourself. Don't you can lie to others, but you can't lie to yourself. You need to put these things in a journal. Every dollar you spend for a month, and see where you're putting your money. Is it a latte at Starbucks or Tim Hortons or whatever coffee shop you go to? Are you buying food out all the time? Are you spending money on your cable bill, $200 a month or something like that, when you don't really even need cable because you can get a lot of your enjoyment off the internet? What is it that you're spending your money on that makes it a priority for you? And then maybe decide on what's important. And you could probably cut out some of that money that you're spending on the wrong thing and just put it aside for maybe a trip every year. So just a couple of suggestions on how to go about things and how to appreciate. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot, and I'm sorry I'm going from one topic to another, but one thing that a lot of people don't do is they go through their lives, they're thinking of all these topics that they need to take care of. They're worried about their friends, their family. They're worried about making enough money to pay the bills. And I do worry about. I have an anxiety concern sometimes. I'm concerned about taking care of things. But when you are down to it, you should find a way to be grateful for the things you are given. Because there's a lot of people out there who are a lot worse off than you are. And if you appreciate what you have today, I believe that it is a circle of what can come to you is based on what gratitude you have. And every now and then, pay it forward. If you see somebody who you want to buy a coffee for, who you don't even know, just offer to. Or maybe the person in line, if you are getting a coffee, maybe you offer to buy them a coffee. Or if somebody's having a hard time with some packages, you offer to help them out. Just be friendly, pay it forward as much as you being reasonable. I've done it a few times and it feels great. It also feels great knowing that I'm doing it for somebody who doesn't expect it. When people start to expect that you do things for them, it's not quite as enjoyable to provide it. Yesterday, I went and got some Timbits for some of the people at work. I absolutely know they appreciated it, but if I do it constantly, then they come to expect it, and then it becomes not an enjoyable experience anymore for them. But when they get it, when they're not expecting it, perfect. It works for them, and everybody's happy. And I don't eat the sugar, but they do, so I guess it's probably counterproductive for me providing that, but they like it, so I'm doing it for them. And I've always talked about, at work I talk about my low carb and eating meat sticks and that kind of thing, so it's not like I don't talk about it, but I can't, basically people make choices about the food they put in their mouth. I wouldn't suggest you eat donuts every day of the week, but if you're not following a low carb regimen and you have a donut every now and then, meaning every week or two, I don't think it's going to kill you, but I would suggest stay away from it if you can. Okay. A little rainy today here in the Niagara region. So I'm going to get on and do a little bit of learning myself. I have some subjects that I need to bone up on some videos on the web, so I'm going to do that myself. So I'm going to say good day to you. If you have any questions or concerns, you like this video will be on YouTube, so if you do like it, please click the like button at the bottom of the video, And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you want to, please do. I would love to have you. And any questions on the comments section that you have about any of these topics, I'm more than willing to have a conversation, a dialogue about any of it. Really enjoy the interaction with people, especially on YouTube. And my email, if you want to email me a question, is niagaraedge@gmail.com. Thanks for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, whether you're Canadian, American, or other, and we will talk to you soon.